Hello, and welcome to another episode of ATS Fully Engaged Battlefield Walkarounds. Today we're going to look at the ATS quote core module Road to Rome Battle for the Gothic Line 1944. A very kind person sent this to me, so it deserves a big old Battlefield Walkaround. Here we are in Italy with the Americans attacking up the peninsula against the Germans, not the Italians in Italy, the Germans. I'm not sure why it's Battle for the Gothic Line, because the Gothic Line is much farther north than here, and it was much later, but, it's a cool title, so I guess that's why they put it in. This is the third of four modules about this topic. So the first one was Santa Maria Infante on the Road to Rome, so you can see they took the Road to Rome title and kind of recycled it from the subtitle and made it the actual title. That was from 2004. It was like one of the old school original modules. And then there was the TT to everybody's favorite tabletop, Battle of the Break-Eye Hills in 2013. And then this one, 2014. And then there's a Bring Your Own Counters, which is also called Santa Maria Infante, from 2018. So here we are. If you don't have the counters, this is probably the one you want to get. Oh, it's raining, so we're going to get some background noise and birds and neighbors, but just epic production values as always. So here we are attacking not the Gothic Line, but Mount Break-Eye on the drive on Rome, but in 1944. That is correct. So let's take a quick look at the components. Oh, well, this is my favorite component. The manifest, the component manifest from Critical Hit. I wish Critical Hit put this in every single product. So if you're listening, Ray, and I know you're not, but if you are, please put these on every product. All right, we got the little Battlefield Walkaround. It's 2 pages, 2 sheets, 4 pages, however you want to break that down. Not too much, lots of background information mostly, not too many, hardly any special rules at all. The historical summary is taken directly from the Small Unit Actions book, which is on the whatever the history.mil. Whatever it is, whatever the URL is, the official government Army library website. So I guess it's in the public domain, but it's parts of it are just verbatim. We got 6 scenario cards for 12 scenarios. So no monster scenarios. There's no scenarios that go on 2 cards. So 12 scenarios. Talk about those in a bit. Oh, very nice. We got 1 sheet of AFV cards. You get a whole sheet, full sheet of German AFVs, but you're not going to get a lot of AFV cards. So I'll just when we're talking about them, we'll talk about them right now. Excuse me. Yeah, so I would say you get a sheet, but I mean, technically this is a half sheet. This is a full sheet. This is just the typical German AFVs and heavy weapons from 2014. It's all very lovely. You got 2 different types of flame tanks. Okay, 1 flame half-track and 1 flame tank. You've also got some named trucks, which I always appreciate, because when I use my old truck counters from the original modules for trucks and they call for specific trucks, it makes me sad that I don't have the specific ones. But now I do. So obviously there's a gazillion vehicles on there, but you're not going to use too many of them in this module. That's the dearth of AFV cards. It's just normal German infantry. No surprises there. And same thing, normal U.S. infantry. In the scenarios, there's a lot of these 859 guys, which, I don't know, there might be a little bit of an element of rah-rah USA going on there, because that's supposed to be like paratroopers, but these are just regular, the 351st Regiment or whatever. And then I managed to knock out some of the counters when I was prepping, because I'm the best. And no big surprises there. You do get to use a fair variety of. You get some of the guns. You get some. The Germans, I think, get an AA gun at some point. One of the scenarios, which is always fun for the Germans, less so for the people facing the A gun. Here is the map. 4 map panels. So not too tedious to set up. We'll give everyone dizzy spells going with the camera, but that's okay. So as you'd expect in Italy, a lot of hills, a lot of elevation changes. It wasn't quite as drastic. I mean, I hear horror stories about the line of sights, doing line of sight in Italian modules, but this one's not too bad. It might get worse in something like Monte Cassino. Yeah, I mean, there's okay, that's not terrain, that's my floor breaking up the sunken road. But yeah, it's pretty. Got some rubble, tons of rubble buildings over here. There's a culvert. It's somewhere. I'm not sure. It's like treated like a ravine, but different. Different line of sight rules. Kind of cool. But yeah, lots of hillocks. We got some really low terrain there with a creek and swamp. So that is the map. We're gonna keep hanging out looking. We'll see if I can replace the camera without. It just gets more and more professional. Maybe we'll cut this out. No, I think we'll leave it in. This is quality content right here. Okay, there's the microphone cord. So what else? That was it for the components. You do have everything you need to play, which is very nice, of course. I checked everything. Maybe there's a vehicle or two, but I'm pretty positive it's all in there. There is VAT support, which is awesome. You look for the Santa Maria Infante map, and it'll be this one, not the old one, in VATS. And, oh yeah, okay, so you have all the combat counters you need to play. Obviously, you need to bring your own markers, but you also need to bring a lot of mines. There's a lot of scenarios with 24 mines or whatever, so you have to have a few extras of those. And what else? So what's interesting? Well, we talked a little bit about the counters, main trucks. That was fun. There's also terraced hills. Well, I think they're all by default terraced. Which, I mean, it's not super thrilling, but it does make a big difference because, for an example, normally... Whoa. Okay, you can't see that. Okay, here, fine. Normally, if you're, say, here, and someone's shooting at you from down here, the one blind hex is removed, but you'd actually, because it's a terraced hill, you would there's a blind hex still. Yeah, so it actually changes quite a bit the pancakeys. And yeah, we'll talk about scenarios. They're, on average, pretty small. There's like 3 or 4 tiny scenarios. Yeah, it's a very small part of the map and only a few squads and so on. And they're mostly small to medium-ish. So if that's your cup of tea, this is where it's at. Let me see if I can find the big one, number 7. It's in here somewhere. So there's no like epic campaign gazillion turn scenario, but when you get 10 turns and you get quite a few things going on. It was like 24 German squads and 10 support weapons and a bunch of vehicles, and the Americans get even more. Yeah, obviously the Americans are going to be attacking in most of the scenarios. There's one where the Germans are attacking. I like how they switch it. I like kind of like the scenario, the modules where they have a little more switching, where it's not every scenario is kind of the same situation, but at least have the one German attack. And there are also several night scenarios. I think 3, maybe more, but definitely 3. And there's quite a bit of OBA. There's 5 or more scenarios with OBA. And so if those are your cup of tea or not, something to keep in mind. Here's one of the tiny scenarios. So yeah, that about does it for Road to Rome. I'm not going to use this. I muted myself. I'm not going to use the subtitle because it's inaccurate. But yeah, play some ATS. Hope you enjoyed that one. Thank you for the person who sent me this module. This is going to get some play. And yeah, hit us up on the blog, on Twitter, on Facebook, Discord channel, all that good stuff.